Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills Housing Update. So I have October's numbers to report today, as well as what happened last week, but there's going to be a lot of conversation about what happened in October, so I'm going to jump right into that. So in October of 2021, it was really the month, I think, when I look back, that we started to feel that prices were really starting to climb. Our average price in October of 2021 was 1.29 million. So it was almost at 1.3 million this time last year. We also sold 104 units that month, which is a very high number of units. So the market was really moving last fall. And I do think, it was sort of this precursor to what was about to happen in the coming months. So when we're looking at October of 2022, we all know we're in a very different market. Things have certainly changed. Prices have come down, but the numbers that I'm about to report for October 2022 are even shocking to me. I was like, are these right? I know I've been talking all month about how under $1 million has been selling very rapidly. A lot of people's approvals have come back so far that under 1 million is where most people can spend now. And so that is taking up a bulk of our sales under that 1 million. And inevitably, that is what I think is the biggest contributor to completely driving our average price down. So October of 2022, we only sold 51 units. So not a ton of stuff sold in October compared to last year. But our average price was $990,000. That is down 23% year over year and almost 13% since last month. So that's a huge drop. It really doesn't feel like we're living in that market right now. It still feels really busy, so these numbers are surprising to me. But the last time our average price in Halton Hills was under $1 million was in January of 2021. That was a very long time ago. I don't know if this is going to be an anomaly. I don't know if when we get to the end of November, like officially our average price is under $1 million, but that seems crazy. That is not what I was expecting. We saw 3 months of pretty consistent average price between that 1.1 and 1.2 mark. And to see the number at 990 is just shocking. I had to go back to like the start of my book to find when our average price was under $1 million. So that is not a great update. It's reflective of what's happening in the market in terms of prices coming down, and it's reflective of how much is selling under that million price point and how little is selling over that million price point, but it just feels really bad. So that is not a great update for October. Eek. Anyways, so let's look at what happened last week. And again, I'm going to be really interested to see what happens in November, if that is a true indicator of where our average price point is going. So anyways, looking at sales last week, Georgetown had 11 sales. So it was a good week in Georgetown, not too high, but not low. We only had 9 new listings and we had a couple properties come off the market. So not great news for inventory, which might drive prices up again. I'm not sure. Acton had 2 sales and 2 new listings. No sales in Glen Williams, no new listings in Glen Williams, no sales in Limehouse, no new listings in Limehouse, and 1 sale in the rural market and 2 new listings. Also of note, in all of October, there was no sales in Glen Williams or Limehouse and only 1 sale in the rural market. So those places, they generally have higher price points. They had nothing sell in all of October. That's pretty wild. Okay, so now looking at active inventory. Last week we were at 157 active listings in Halton Hills. We are down this week to 150. So we saw a pretty dramatic drop. I think that's dramatic for, our week. And our market seems busy. So you would think that as inventory is coming down, and buyers still seem to be living on pre-approvals from like August, so we still have buyers in the market. I would have thought that we would see higher sales prices because of inventory coming down. So lots of moving parts right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but inventory is continuing to drop. 150 is down pretty significantly. So Georgetown is down to 89 active listings from 94. The last time we were under 90 listings was in April of this year. So our inventory levels are actually quite low, but a lot of the stuff over that million mark is sitting, especially over 1.5 million. So that's sort of like, we're seeing inventory in Georgetown coming way down. It's going to be interesting what happens in November here. So looking at our price points, under 800,000 went from 15 down to 14 active listings. So not a huge change there. 800 to $1 million went from 17 to 15 active listings. So that is down slightly. And that pocket has certainly been getting bought up, I guess. Like that is the price point that's really moving. And so 15 active listings is not a huge number in comparison to where we are with the other price points. 1 to 1.5 million climbed this week from 33 to 35 active listings. Again, this price point is struggling to move. There's not a ton of buyers willing to spend that kind of money on houses anymore. And 1.5 million plus went from 29 to 26 active listings. That was, again, properties coming off the market, but still sitting very high over 1.5 and just not a lot moving. So Acton this week remained the same at 23 active listings. Glen Williams remained the same at 8. Limehouse remained the same at 5. And the rural market is down from 27 to 24 active listings. So overall, that is a shocking October to me. I don't know how this is going to translate to November. I really did feel like the market was pretty busy. And when we're looking at like units sold, in October, we had 61 units. So we're down in September, we sold 61 units. We only sold 51 in October, and it felt like a busier month to me. So I'm just really confused with where the market is going, and I don't think it's safe to say prices on all properties came down 13% last month. That's pretty dramatic, but what happens in November is really going to be a snapshot of where the market is going. But the report is we are down over 23% since last year. And that is over 13% since September. Sorry, I'm sort of rambling here, but it doesn't feel like prices actually came down that much, but to see it on paper that our average price came down 13%. Again, it's the million plus market that's really hopping, and that's where most of the sales are. And then that top end of the market is really coming backwards. So we'll see what happens in November. Really bad update for sellers looking to sell in November, because people are going to be looking at these numbers and they're probably going to be scared of where prices are going, and it's going to probably have some buyer hesitation. So that's enough of my rant today, but it's just an interesting month to look at. And maybe this is the beginning of, our prices really dramatically coming down, or maybe this is sort of like a stopping point and things are going to stabilize, because things feel pretty balanced right now with buyers and sellers. So we'll watch each week, see any new trends we can sort of see. But one thing we're not seeing is inventory skyrocketing. So I think that is going to help sellers right now. But I will be back next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone.